How's it hanging, Rasmanites? Today, I'm going to do something I haven't done in a while here on my own channel, and that is, I've got a movie review for you. Today's film is directed and produced, and I think also partially written by Wes Anderson. It's called The Darjeeling Limited. So that's what's coming up today on the Razman's Reality. First off, before I start the review, I want to thank my buddy, Civilian Snowman. There's his link below. Of course, I'm sure everybody knows him by now. He was the one that inspired me to see this film because he did a top 10 films of the decade and then had trouble narrowing it down to 10, and he put the Darjeeling Limited into his honorable mentions. And then he and I were talking on Skype, and he showed me the trailer for it. And once I saw the trailer for it, I was absolutely hooked and been meaning to check it out since. And, well, I just obviously have. It's a sort of finding yourself story, I guess you could say, with a comedy base. It stars Owen Wilson as Francis, Adrian Brody as Peter, and Jason Schwartzman as Jack. So, 3 great actors there that really know how to bring it home every time they're put into a role, and their mix is just absolutely perfect in this film. They play brothers who had the loss of their father happen to them. You know, he has passed away. So, basically after he passes away, they sort of grow apart. And so, the oldest, Owen Wilson, Francis, hatches a plan to not only get him and his brothers back together, but to also help them find their mother, who has become some sort of recluse ever since their father passed away. It turns out later on, you see in the film, that she didn't come to her husband's funeral, and they don't really know what she's been doing all this time. So, in the first few minutes of the film, you learn from Francis, who has hired an assistant because he had an accident where his face was torn up by, I think, either falling off or being hit by a motorcycle. To be honest, they didn't really make it clear in the film, and every time he told the story in the audio track of the version of the film that I saw, so I apologize for not knowing exactly how he injured himself, but I'm pretty sure that's why he has an assistant. So anyway, he and his assistant track down their mother, and it turns out that she's become a nun. So he basically tricks his brothers to coming with him to the monastery to retrieve her, and the whole entire time we learn who they are now as people, the personality quirks that they have, and what's basically happened to them. Francis has basically just been lost without his brothers because he feels as though he raised his brothers because their father, I guess, wasn't very attentive when they were young, and their mother, well, she obviously isn't very attentive either if she's going to sort of walk away from responsibility, as we've already stated. So Francis is kind of lost without his brothers for that reason. Peter just has an absolute lack of self-esteem. He continues to want to go back, that is, to his ex-girlfriend, who jumped him. So all throughout the film, he's checking her messages, and because he has the code for her answer machine, and trying to hear from her. And Jack, he has a lack of commitment. He's had a wife forever, and he I guess never felt like he was going to stay with his wife. He always thought they were going to be divorced. He says that in the film. So he's pretty much shocked when he learns that he and his wife are going to be expecting a child. So he doesn't really know what to do there. So yeah, the whole film is about them getting from where they were when they first meet up on this train called the Darjeeling Limited in India, and it's the name of the film. And they sort of take a journey to overcome all of what their hang-ups are. Francis slowly learns to let go of his brothers. After fooling around with a married Indian woman, Peter learns that he needs to grow some balls and have some self-respect for himself, which will help him gain some self-respect with women. And Jack learns that he can't run away from commitment if he loves someone, and he really does love his wife. So this was an extremely funny movie, and a movie that shows that just because you grow apart doesn't mean that you have to stay that way. And I really, really like the cinematography in this film. I thought the camera work was just brilliant. The scenery, because the majority of the film is filmed in India, is just spectacular. And the score / soundtrack, and I call it both because I think it did have some original music written for it, but it also clearly has some tracks in the film as well. The score is just absolutely, absolutely fantastic. It's probably the thing that I'm going to remember most about this film is its score and the way that I associate the score or the soundtrack with certain scenes. And the dialogue was just hilarious throughout the film. My favorite part was when Peter is trying to get his two older brothers, Francis and Jack, to quit fighting, and they're fighting, and Francis is like, Jack, you don't love me, and Jack was like, I do love you. And then Francis is like, I love you too, but I'm going to make you in the face. So yeah, that was absolutely my favorite moment in the film from a humor standpoint. But the whole thing is just great. 5 stars all the way across the board. Thank you to Jack, Civilian Snowman, for the recommendation of the film. If you haven't seen it, see it. And I can't wait to see it again now. It's great stuff. With that, this may be the last episode that you see from me for a few days, as supposedly I am moving tomorrow. If this goes up on Friday, supposedly I am moving either tomorrow or Sunday, or more than likely starting the process tomorrow and then actually moving on Sunday. Now, my mom and dad have been telling me that we are going to be moving to this apartment, me and my mom, for months now. You guys know that. You guys know that I told you I was going to move months ago, but we got an extension on this place, and there's just always been one hang up after another. So if you see me in this place again, don't be surprised, but I had to throw it out there in case it is a couple days before I can update this channel again. This is reality according to the Razman. And Razman style, it's not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.